Hello my soul family, welcome to the weekly astrology report for this week of May 18th, 2020 to May 24th, 2020. So this is a big week this week because we have the new moon in Gemini on Friday. So this is huge because we're entering Gemini season. So we're in the shift from Taurus to Gemini, and we're at these last degrees of the sun in Taurus. So this sun in Taurus at the final degrees is telling us to connect with our true authentic self and make sure that we're chasing the dreams that are really fulfilling for us down the line. Who really are you is the question. Okay, so we're gonna get deep to this week with the charts as always and the astrology report. So I first want to read as always the astrology report. So I hope you're all having an amazing morning, some sip of coffee, and you started your day early, right? Because I'm so joyful that I got so much done this morning and I'm here still showing up. So it's an amazing week for me. Make sure that you also fill out your journal reflection questions that I always give you in this video at the end of the week. I have to do mine. I haven't done mine, so I will do this after this video. So for the week of Monday, May 18th to Sunday, May 24th. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little more comfortable. Okay, so the sun moves into Gemini on Wednesday night, which lightens up the energy for us all. But the week starts with the moon in Taurus. And this is a rather lovely combination. Make the most of it by encouraging playfulness and spending time with interesting people who nourish you. And I did see that in the charts. This moon in Taurus is different than having the sun in Taurus, okay? Because the moon in Taurus, this is not only about hopeless romanticism, but it's also about wanting to get our needs met, wanting to feel good. So whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that it feels good. This is about creating this life that you actually feel good in it. I've been talking about this in the weekly intuitive, in all the daily videos, and in the motivational speech for this week. Really make sure that you watch that video. The new moon in Gemini on Friday is a perfect time to set your intentions for the next few weeks at least. Gemini energy is an incredible opportunity to think up new ideas and create award-worthy campaigns and strategies. There is a catch though. It's only really worthwhile for those who can focus for long enough to see their ideas through, and that's what we've been talking about. Enjoy the long journey, not just the destination. So staying strong really does it. This week we need to train our mind to stay in one place and execute our ideas. This is about laser focusedness. Not wandering too much, because sometimes Gemini does like to wander too much. So we're really needing to hone down on just like two specific things that are gonna light your spirit up and give you this passion. This week we need to train our mind to stay in one place and execute our ideas. Otherwise the energy will fail to deliver any lasting results. But I have faith in you not to let this happen. Due to the distractions sent by the Gemini and Aquarius air vibe and the general need to focus this week, I have upped the ante slightly in order to aid your success. So meditate every morning for 15 minutes at least, and don't look at your phone until you've at least showered and brushed your teeth, which that's something that I always do, right? Get up immediately and take care of you, right? And if you commute or drive to work, which none of us are, take a book and read at least one chapter. So take a book and read every week, every night. I've been reading a new book actually, and it really feels good to read something different. I haven't read a good book in a long time. I've read, a lot of, educational books, but just a book for fun has been a while. So that's exciting for me because I really love romantic novels. So also train your mind to stay in one place throughout the day. Focus on a picture or any image that fills you with happiness and take a few deep breaths. So the aspiration and the mantra for this week is that I make good things happen. So let me take out my pencil because we're going to be writing some notes. Pencil is not here. All right, well, I have a pen there. Okay. So Monday. So here there's not a lot of things. So we're gonna write down the notes based on what's in the charts. Okay, so let me get this set up. So for the week of May 18th to the 24th of 2020. So let us begin with Monday, which is 5/18. Okay. So like we said, we have the moon in Taurus. It's going to approach Taurus at exactly Tuesday, actually 10:30 p.m. So it's still going to be in Aries on Monday, but on Monday significant transit that I saw was this Pluto squaring the moon in Aries. So this is definitely going to bring up perhaps some dark things that are going to bring up anger. You know, I was definitely feeling that. And that's where you really need to be honest with these wounds. And it's really your attitude in life, and forgiveness is the way to heal this anger that's being triggered by anything that comes up, because Pluto brings up these dark wounds. Pluto is in retrograde, remember, and we're going through these deep transformations. It can also be, you know, perhaps just like on not wanting to do things that you're needing to be a little bit more Capricornian with, like disciplined. We also have this Neptune in Pisces squaring Venus in Gemini, which obviously is about getting real with ourselves, about our relationships when it comes to love, obviously, right? And we also have the moon in Aries semi-squaring Mars in Pisces. So this is, you know, our battle between our higher self and our ego, because we want to get things done. We want to see our dreams come to fruition right now. But this Mars in Pisces is really telling us to take a step back. This is a time of doing the work behind the scenes, connecting to our spiritual guides and our artistic abilities, and letting the outside world just be. Because the moon in Aries wants to be in the outside world. So obviously this is what's going on in the global scene. So it's kind of like the world is telling us one thing and yet our body is telling us another, right? So this is this battle between our higher self, which is the divinely guided one, and our ego, which is fleshly driven, right? So obviously you know the answer. Ask God for guidance and to give you strength to be able to resist any temptations, anything that's not in alignment with the divine. On Monday, we also have the moon in Aries sextiling the Venus as well. And this is definitely about, you know, the moon doesn't like to be in Aries. And with Venus in Gemini, you know, this can also be a little bit of domestic violence issues that have been coming up a lot in relationships. And with this Venus in Gemini, it's like you're no longer kidding yourself, right? You're no longer going to stay in something just because you once thought it was perfect or it looked good on paper, because a little bit of this, you know, with Gemini here, it's all about really kind of like investigating mode, right? And we're coming to terms with our self-worth, because that's the sun in Taurus. As we're approaching Gemini, these last little bits of the degrees in the sun in Taurus, it's about our self-worth, having the self-worth and respect enough to be able to speak our intellectual truth. Whatever doesn't make sense spiritually has got to go, okay? And today is the 18th. So that's what it's about, really. It's about, making sure that we're communicating ourselves clearly to these abuses. You see, emotional abuses, Moon in Aries. And with this North Node in Gemini trining this Mars in Pisces, it's interesting because this is about what is it gonna be, basically. You have the time to reflect right now, to make honest, clear-cut decisions that you've contemplated on. This is not just decisions that you've made overnight, because that's an impulsive energy, right? That would be a moon in Aries, right? But we're needing to actually think through clearly. What are we gonna say? What is gonna be your strategy to get out, let's say, of an abusive relationship? What's going to be your way out, your plan for the future? How are you going to fend yourself? How are you going to become independent? All of these things is really being brought up to the surface with all this Gemini energy. There's a lot of Gemini energy. We have Mercury, Venus, and the North Node in Gemini all together in the 6th house. And the 6th house is also about being of service to the world. How can you create this stability worldwide and make a living out of it that is also in divine alignment, that is for the higher mission, the cosmic mission? And yeah, like this sun in Taurus, which is in the 5th house, it makes sense, right? It's in the love and romance house. So this is really about standing up and speaking our truth when it comes to relationships. You see, I'm really feeling that strongly. And there's like a lot of 1st house energy as well. Most of the all the retrogrades are there actually. The Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in the 1st house, which is about our self-identity, right? And the South Node is in the 12th house. So anything that's not in alignment is karmic, right? Anything that's not spiritually based is karmic. And the moon is actually in the 4th house, which has to do with our emotions. So we might feel a little bit compulsive when it comes to our emotions. So really make sure that your emotions are not getting in the way of your goals, of your sanity, and of your spiritual mission. That's huge for Monday. Okay, so let us go to Tuesday. So Tuesday, so Tuesday then, the 19th, so the moon is in Taurus, and this moon is actually sextiling the North Node. So this is definitely about what feels good spiritually. And you'll know that if it feels good, this means that it's in spiritual alignment. Okay, this is about really being receptive to the divine, because the divine is not going to make you not want to feel good, right? The divine wouldn't give you a mission that will not be fulfilling. So trust in this. And Jupiter is actually squaring Venus in Gemini, which says he's squaring Venus in Gemini. So this is definitely about, you know, there are opportunities when you don't see any. Okay, just because Jupiter's in retrograde doesn't mean that the opportunities are not there, but they're a little hidden. So with this Venus in Gemini, you kind of have to like fish for it. You have to be an intellectual about it and find it, investigate. And it's also interesting to know because this Mars that is in Pisces is sextiling the ascendant, which is that Capricorn. So this is definitely about feeling passionate and fired up about our goals that we set for ourselves. We're keep treading along with the commitments that we made. And with this Mercury semi-squaring the moon, which is now in Taurus at 8:52 a.m. So this happens very early in the morning. You might feel a little bit overwhelmed with too many thoughts. So you really need to hone down on your thoughts, on what you're gonna do. Focus on one thing at a time again, because again, there's a lot of Gemini energy in the air. So you wanna make sure that you're using your time wisely, not just thinking around and not getting things done. Okay, so that's crucial. So that's Tuesday. And of course, you know, what feels good? What feels good spiritually? And remember, like with these thoughts all getting fired up, like you wanting to do so many things at once. Remember as well that it's about progress and not perfection. Don't get overly harsh on yourself, wanting to get everything perfectly. And of course, it's always about trying to be the best that you can, right? You always want to show up with the most perfect that you can. But if just something doesn't come out the way that you expected, trust that it's because the divine has a reason for that, okay? So for Wednesday, the 20th, we have Mercury sessi-squaring Saturn. So this is obviously about the delays that we're experiencing in the air, because globally we're in this kind of like frozen mode, right? We're in this frozen mode, this ice age, you can say, where we can't really move out in the world. There's not a lot going on, but you can always make things go on. This is the Mercury in Gemini, and this Mars in Pisces. Go within, and spiritually you can get a lot done. You can develop your spiritual gifts, you can get more artistic, you can get your creative projects done. Do a lot of behind the scenes work. So this is about shifting our perspective again. Shifting our perspective. That's like, I'm writing the main themes for each day. And then on Wednesday, we also have Venus squaring Neptune. So this is obviously not letting, you know, the illusions get the best of us when it comes to love and relationships. Being honest and real with ourselves. All this Gemini is going to really bring out the truth, because Gemini investigates and finds the truth. It's a deep hermeticism as well. You're going to start finding a lot of ancient wisdom within you and from external sources that the divine is guiding you to. Certain spiritual teachers that know what they're talking about, you're going to be guided to them to learn more things. And we also have on the 20th Mercury trining the midheaven, which is in Libra, on Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. And this is about putting our focus on career and perhaps speaking marketing, selling, writing, communicating about your professional goals, because any plans that you make now behind the scenes will bring fruition down the line. Abundance, that's what's in the future. And you may have to do a lot of paperwork or behind the scenes work right now, but trust that every little detail matters, and it all builds up to the bigger picture. Everything is important. So don't only get hyperly focused on the trophy or the award or the recognition or the status or even the money, right? It's about doing everything that you need to do diligently. That's how we be of service. So that's the main message for Wednesday. On Thursday, which is the 21st of May, let us look at the chart. Okay. So interesting enough, we have a lot of trining energy on Thursday. So new moon in Gemini is approaching. We're in Gemini season on Thursday. And there's a lot of trine energy, meaning there's a lot of good opportunities only if you see them, okay? Lots of good opportunities in the air. And positive opportunities in the air. This can even be as simple as like going out for a fresh walk. Like maybe the parks will be open, you see, or the tracks, the beaches, some parts of nature. Even if there's going to be some constriction, at least that's where you choose to see it as a positive or as a negative. It's really in the eye of the beholder. How you see the situation is how your experience is going to be. So this is about keeping your thoughts positive on Thursday. And I believe that was the daily message this morning for Thursday. And we also have the sun is in Gemini. So obviously we're in Gemini season now. So see, this opportunity is being more lighthearted, because Gemini brings joy and playfulness and youthfulness into the mix. So this is a good thing, because this Gemini season is really going to be joyful. I really feel a lot of joy. We are approaching summer. Summer's around the corner, literally. It's at the end of June. And this sun in Gemini at 1 degree by nighttime on Thursday is going to be semi-squaring Chiron and Aries. So this Thursday, I had to change my battery. So this is significant because this is also about recharging in nature. So if you can go in nature, like I said, take a fresh walk in nature today on Thursday to celebrate this Gemini season. I really think it's going to be good for you, or at least spend some time in nature. And like I said, like I was about to say, we have the sun in Gemini also semi-squaring this Chiron and Aries. So this light-hearted, youthful, playful, innocent, childlike energy is going to help us to heal these wounds that we're still a little bit healing, right? And this is going to help us on our ascension process. And let's see what else I get here. Yeah, that's the main energy for this day. But the sun in Gemini is also squaring this Mars in Pisces. So this is again being honest with ourselves about the truth, the spiritual truth, in whatever way that means for you, in whatever shadow you're running away from. Just get real with yourself and be real with those around you as well, and the way that you're showing up in the world. Because this moon in Taurus that's still there, we're not going to feel good if we're acting with a mask, if we're living our life through our ego mask. That doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good when you're being a fake to your partner, when you're not being your real authentic self. So that message also came through because that may resonate with a few people. And there's a minor aspect here with this North Node in Gemini and all this retrograde energy with Pluto specifically and retrograde Capricorn. And obviously we're at a deep transformation right now. We have the green light to make this shift in whatever way that means for you, okay? A new partnership, I feel, because I saw 222 as I said that. You have the green light right now for a spiritual partnership. And the reason why I say this is because this spiritual partnership is going to bring deep healing. That makes sense as well. Intellectually, they fit together because it's part of the mission. They're both on the same mission, and they're meant to share like teachers, because Gemini is the teacher. Power couples and spiritual partnerships are basically two souls that merge as one to teach the collective and bring in this light to the world. So this is the green light that we're getting on Thursday with this new beginning in Gemini season. It's a lot of positive energy. I love it. I really do love it. And let us move on to Friday, because Friday is the actual new moon now. And the new moon is specifically, let's see exactly what time it is. So Wednesday, actually the sun moves into Gemini, but that's by nighttime. If we want to get the specific time, let us do that, okay? Let us do that. And let us see at what time exactly. So basically around 10 p.m. So it's almost Thursday, you see. And this is Eastern time. Okay, so let me see. So the new moon in Gemini happens basically at noon. It happens at 12:39 p.m. Eastern time. So this is a great day for manifestation of joy, abundance, light-hearted energy, back to innocence through healing. And for any of you out there who want to have children, this message has been coming up strongly for me, and it's that of children, okay? And I even spoke about this in the motivational speech. You know, we need to be in this healthy place to be good parents, right? But children are also coming up because I feel like maybe a lot of you want to have children or will be having children if you're already in a spiritual partnership, or this is something down the line that you want. And so this is a good time to manifest it, basically make your wish so that it could come true. And this is also about returning to childness, returning to this innocent child state that we were brought here originally down to earth. Okay, it really is about deep inner healing of any childhood wounds and returning to innocence. So today on the new moon in Gemini, write a list of the things that you wish to manifest this month and in your life in general, okay? And it could be anything. It could be a partnership, a marriage, a harmonious family, a certain goal in your life, a breakthrough in your business, a creative project that you want to bring to fruition. It could be anything. Maybe more health if you're a little bit difficult with that. Imagine them happening and then burn the list and ask the universe to deliver for you. This is visualization and anchoring skills, which I talked a lot about in my New You Soul Coaching program. It's a 10-week intensive. The program is done, it's completed. You can rewatch those webinars whenever you want and basically learn at your own pace. So go ahead to my website and go to the program page, which is /anewyou, so christyramirez.com/anewyou. And you can obviously purchase the program, watch the welcome video, and you can watch those videos. There's 20 videos to be exact, because 10 of those were the actual classes, but I also did 10 extra introductory videos for each lesson. So it's like a little extra video. So there's over 10 hours of videos there, and I put a lot of energy and time and passion into that, and they came out better than expected because we learned so much. So really check it out. So let us go into the weekend now. So the weekend basically with Saturday and with Sunday. Whoa. So Saturday, let me have So we have a conjunction here between Venus in Gemini and the South Node in Sagittarius. So what I feel like this means is that we're really getting this push by the universe. We have the universe's support to be able to get out of our karma and move into our spiritual truth. Okay, that's the message for Saturday. And with this moon in Gemini, oh, this is Friday still, so this moon in Gemini is sextiling this Chiron in Aries. So same energy. And also Uranus in Taurus is sextiling Mars in Pisces. So we're really brainstorming ways to create revolutionary change in the world, in our life, in our projects, in our business. So we're in this brainstorming phase, okay? Don't feel bad about yourself if you're not taking a lot of over-the-top action at this time, because that's not right now what we're meant to be doing. It's more about thinking, the intellectuality, the really specific strategizing, kind of like a chess game of life, and playing smart. This means a smart player plays slow and steady and waits how the world reveals itself, right? Waits for the magician to come out, basically, the secret, right? And then you take action. That's what a smart light worker does, okay? And it's also about blending in the spirituality in whatever way that you can into your daily work, so that you can inspire others without necessarily coming off as like overly spiritual, because that can put off a lot of people, right? It doesn't mean that the message is off-putting. It just means that there's a lot of people who are hesitant on hearing that information. So it's learning to be smart on how to reach people as well, especially if they're closed-minded people. Okay, wow. There's a lot of 8th and 7th house energies with Gemini. There's a lot of Gemini on Saturday. Okay, a lot of Gemini energy. And let me be specific with what this is. So obviously we have the North Node in retrograde in Gemini. We have Mercury and Venus. And remember that Venus is retrograde. We have the moon in Gemini. And we have the sun in Gemini. So this is a little bit crazy, right? And what I'm starting to feel, since most of this is 7th house energy, this is about relationships. Okay, relationships, being communicative, getting to know new people, perhaps your spiritual partner. And there's a lot of flirting going on in the air as well. Flirty energy, or wanting to flirt, wanting to communicate, wanting to have these social events with our friends and family, right? And you can make it happen, even if it's just virtually, right? You can get family togethers while still being safe. And there's also the semi-squaring aspect here with Pluto retrograde and the Mars in Pisces again. And I feel like this is also, again, the steep transformation that we're learning to understand, learning to control any addictions as well, any impulsive behaviors that have been uncontrollable in the past, in whatever way that means for you. And then, let's see if there's something here. So on Friday, I forgot to say, we also have the sun trining Saturn. So again, steady accomplishment is the way to go. This will bring rewards. And we also have Mercury squaring Neptune. So again, staying focused on one thing at a time. And if you need some rest, if you're feeling too overwhelmed with all this Gemini energy, maybe you're too in your head, take a step back. Like I said, this weekend is a weekend of self-care. You're gonna need it, okay? Self-care is, I think, is at the top of the list, literally, because of all this overthinking energy. Don't overthink. Just do what you're being divinely guided to. And again, like I said, you see Sun squaring midheaven on Saturday. This is the right balance between home and work. Definitely. Balance is the key. And that was the message of the motivational speech, which I actually did before this video. And finally, we also have Mercury semi-squaring Uranus on Saturday. Very late night, so into Sunday. So this is an exciting yet nervous period as your mind is stimulated with new ideas. It's a day of learning. Sunday, I said this in the daily, a day of learning, because there's a lot of mental stimulation that you're gonna need, okay? Connecting to ancient wisdom and sacred knowledge. Sacred holy knowledge. This is the holy day as well on Sunday. I always do my Bible studies in my spiritual book club, so you might want to become a member. If you become a member of my spiritual counseling TV network, you're not only going to get access to this weekly astrology that I do every week, in addition to the weekly intuitive guidance, which is my intuitive perspective on the week that I actually record before I do any other video. That's like the first video of the week that I do. Every daily morning video to keep you high vibrational, your daily morning prayer, affirmations, the gratitude journal, and the spiritual guidance for that day. And you also get access to all the School of Light. So my Tantra classes, my spiritual book club, these Bible studies that I've been doing, and other great shows that I do there that are educational, evolutionary psychology, cosmic wisdom, a whole bunch of good things there, and extra lectures that I do there. And my podcast shows, sometimes I do extra special talks, and the love readings that I do, right? So you get access to all of that. And if you want access to the program, that's a separate purchase, but I really recommend, it's already at the lowest price reduced. So really take a look at that. And that's what I'm feeling for this week, really. That's what the energy is. Oh, interesting. Sunday, one last thing, 3:33 a.m. You might obviously be waking up earlier now, right? That's the holy time. You should be meditating. Between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. is the perfect time to meditate. Like, take a look at the meditation, the motivational speech video, and I talk about the circadian rhythm that we are to live by. This is the sacred lifestyle. This is the way a sacred woman and a sacred man live their life by. Learn more about this as well in my Sacred Woman Healing Circle program. I talk a lot about the sacred lifestyle and healing ourselves back to this sacredness, this divinity that is within us, that is our right as royalty from the divine, as children of the divine. So we have two conjunction energies here on Sunday. South Node is conjuncting both the moon in Gemini and Mercury in Gemini. So this is positive aspects because all of this thinking energy can bring us towards our spiritual true soul path. Whatever ancient wisdom is going to come to you, any downloads that day, is going to guide you towards the next step and path on your journey. So listen carefully. This sun in Gemini is also trining both retrogrades, the Jupiter retrograde and the Pluto retrograde, which they are in Capricorn. So this is really a great time of understanding crystal clear who we are deep down, because there is a lot of Pisces energy too. We have, remember, Mars and Neptune in Pisces. Pisces sees things clearly because they're very connected to the spiritual realms. So because we're becoming more enlightened, more spiritually awakened as a collective, we're seeing things clearly. We're seeing, you know, the illusion for what it is. And we're also seeing what is this deep transformation that's happening worldwide, but also within us, you know, and what are these things that we need to do that have probably been the missing piece all along in our life, and why is the reason why we're not there yet? And with this trining energy, again, is perspective, keeping always a positive perspective. That's always a given. And we also have a lot of squaring energy with this Neptune in Pisces squaring Mercury and the North Node and the Moon in Gemini. So again, this is obviously seen through the false illusions worldwide. As we are more connected to spirit, we become naturally more intelligent, because divine intelligence is the utmost intelligence. And that's what's guiding us through this turmoil, through this storm. And we're going to be in the eye of the storm, because guess what? This third eye that we have is the eye of the storm. The third eye sees through everything. It blasts open through the truth. Imagine your third eye like this, blasting clear, white, beautiful crystal energy through this darkness. And I talked about this in the weekly intuitive guidance, so if you're interested in why these are here, I actually brought them up in that video. So I left them here for all these videos. And that's really been helping me to balance out the energies. You see, balancing out the real world with the spiritual world. Being grounded while still being connected to spirit. And embracing both the light and the dark within us. Okay, this masculine and feminine. That's what Gemini also teaches us. It really teaches us to think more intellectually about everything. The dichotomy, the hermeticism. And I'm actually going to be recording a video on hermeticism, because I've been rereading that book quite various times on hermetics that I have. And I did talk a lot about this in a video that I did last year that was called Reaching Nirvana. And I talk about the hermetic laws. That's how I first learned about it. But to be honest, I learned about this a long time ago with, another person. But I didn't completely understand until last year that I did the research. And now that I reread that book, I'm even more clear about that. So I want to share that knowledge. That will probably be the theme of this week's podcast on the weekend. So stay tuned for that. And I really feel like that's going to help you to understand more clearly this spiritual new world that's very enchanted and very mystical, which Pisces here, is trying to understand. Neptune in Pisces is like, what is the truth? You see, what is the truth? Am I just living in a fantasy land? Or is this really possible? Are my dreams just self-created? Or is it the divine taking me to another world, another realm, another dimension, another timeline? And what about the spiritual love, right? This spiritual love, like twin flames dynamics, can seem unreal, can seem ungraspable, but it's real. And that's what the Gemini energy is beginning to understand. You see, they're beginning to understand the connection and how it really is real, and the evidence behind it in the Bible, in hermeticism, and ancient wisdom, sacred knowledge. It always comes through somehow. Like it came up in the book and Gospel of Thomas that I did this weekend in the Bible study. So it's there, okay? And this is hermetics, right? Masculine and feminine balance. And this is also, this merging of two souls that were originally one. Adam and Eve. Adam was first one. And then God made two from Adam. So they're one of the same flesh, of the same spirit, of the same soul. And then they became two fleshes. Take a look at that quote that I posted on my art page, in my Instagram art page yesterday. And it was based on a quote from the Bible, the Gospel of Thomas. And basically, what are you going to do when the soul splits into two? Because you once were one, right? But now the question is, what are you going to do when each of you are individual beings? Are you going to be able to come back together and reunite with the same high vibration? Are you both going to stay in alignment with the mission? Because remember, when these two souls who are initially one of the same are separated, like two twins who are born of the same mother, right? When these two twins are separated, like let's say, for example, they're adopted by different parents. Like I've seen this a lot. I used to work with a lot of orphan kids. And, there's been studies that have said that twins, for example, when these twins were separated, because let's say, the mother either passed away or wasn't a good mother fit to raise these children, whatever the case may be. So one child was raised by one family and the other child by another family. One family was a healthy dynamic and the other one was an unhealthy, abusive dynamic. Both children had a different upbringing, but they had the same DNA. Given the circumstances, if these roles were switched, the twins would have grown up the same because they have the same DNA. They would have reacted the same to the circumstance. Now, because as grown-ups, they're not the same, they don't think the same, or they have different difficulties, like maybe one of them has addictions and the other one doesn't, or one of them had it easier and the other one didn't, so therefore it affected the way they see the world, right? If the roles were switched and reversed, the other twin would have grown up the same because they have the same DNA. It's just the upbringing that was different. But at the core, they're the same. You see? So I hope you understand that concept, because this spiritual love dynamic really is real. It's about understanding it. So that's actually a study that was done in psychology. If you want to research exactly what study that was, go ahead. I'm actually going to try to look up the name and I'll mention it in the next video. But I did learn this in school, so I really know that that's a real study that was done. So that's the astrology for this week, okay? I want to keep it as short and sweet as possible. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you watch all the dailies. The weekly intuitive guidance, really important, and the motivational speech, the how-to video, really important for this week as well. And make sure that you stay tuned for the weekly love show and my spiritual book club meetings that I will be having this week, the tantra class, and the spiritual talks. So I'm wishing you all an amazing and beautiful day. Namaste.